No matter how much research you do before starting a Twitch channel, there will always be a specific time where you just stop growing and you can't really tell why. Hey guys, relatable here, and today I'm gonna be giving you 5 Twitch tips to help you grow your audience and step up your entertainment game. Okay, quick disclaimer, as of every tip that I give on this channel, this is general tips. That means that you need to figure out which ones make sense for you and you can apply to your content. Every advice is good advice, but not every advice will apply to your particular situation. I don't know you. My advice is purely based on trends and things that most of the time have been proven to be true. We're talking about entertainment here. It is not a precise science. Real quick before we start, huge shout out to Johnny Dragon that tweeted my latest video. Thank you so much. Also, if you're looking for some dope overlays to make your Twitch channel look good, go to gumroad.com/relatable. Most of them are free. The rest is super affordable. Now let's begin. Tip number 1 is going to be television. The biggest difference between television and a live stream is the interaction. If you're watching a TV show, you're just gonna sit down and just watch. But on the internet, if you're live streaming, it gives you the option to actually interact, bringing the person even more involved into the show that you are presenting. So you have an advantage over television shows. But the tip here is that television has been perfecting the art of entertainment for decades now. They really mastered the art of making your grandma sit down and watch those game shows for hours, right? So a big mistake that I see streamers do when they're researching and they're trying to improve their entertainment is type in for streamers at the end of their research. They'll look up lighting for streamers, audio for streamers, and I get it. There's people like me that will be making that content, but streaming is pretty new compared to anything that has to do with multimedia. So what I want you to do basically is take inspiration from TV shows. And we're not talking about just any TV show. We're not talking about like The Walking Dead. We're talking about game shows, talk shows, and shows basically that have a host that is here to entertain you. Because when you think about it, having a Twitch channel is pretty much the same thing. No matter what's going on, you are the host and this is your job technically. So you can look up different reality shows and game shows and talk shows and basically write down patterns that you will notice. How do they introduce themselves? How does the intro play out? And all those little details that basically they have mastered in order to entertain people. Something that I personally wrote down and found out and I started implementing in my stream is, you know, when you start this stream, you have the starting soon screen and then you go to your, full screen webcam, introduce yourself, get people hyped, play some music, make it loud, make it really build up the anticipation of how good the show is going to be during the stream. That really keeps the viewers in. If you just switch the scene and you look lost and now you're figuring out if your mic is on and stuff, it definitely drowns down the hype and people will leave. And that is just one single example of things that TV shows can teach you. Audience retention, for example, is a huge issue for live streamers and YouTubers, but also television, but they perfected it. How do they build up anticipation throughout the whole thing? How do they grab the people's attention during the whole show? Even when they have to do ad breaks. How do you do ad breaks and not have Twitch chat be mad at you and leave? If you've seen my streams, you will know that instead of being all sad when I'm ending my stream and making everything low and chill, I do the opposite. This is also something that I learned from television. They usually make it end on a high note. I hype my chat up and then I go ahead and raid someone else. So when my show ends, basically everyone has this adrenaline rush and they can't wait for the next show. Again, you write down the things that apply to your own stream and you implement things that just apply to your own stream. Those are examples of my stream. Let's move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be your presentation, your image, basically. Every Friday on my Twitch channel, I do a show where people come in, they join a queue, and then I go check out their channels. I don't look at the VODs, I don't look at the clips, I just tell them about my honest reaction to their presentation. There are some channels when you click on them and you go to that front page and you look at the banner, the accent color, the profile picture, you can already tell that this person knows what they're doing. And then you check out the rest of the page, you can see the description, the about me section, the panels, and the offline image. And this is where branding comes into place. Branding is quite important. That is, if you want to build a career. If you're doing all that, like, as a hobby, you probably shouldn't be watching my video at all. But branding is really important in establishing a certain image, a certain presence online in general, not just your Twitch channel, but in general. And the good news for you is that it's easier to succeed, to have a successful branding image than it is to mess it up. You physically have to put in more work to mess up your branding than you have to have a successful branding. Let me explain. If you're building up your image, you usually have to pick between 1 and 3 colors max. You have to pick the colors, and then you have to pick a graphic style. Once you have those two things, you just run with it. Everything else, if you're making a banner, you can start with the banner. For example, you're making your banner and you're like, I'm gonna pick this color and that color. What will be the style? Am I gonna go with soft shadows? It's gonna be futuristic? It's gonna have a pattern, or which one? Once you pick one and you made that banner, when you think about what should I put in my panels, it's simple. You already did the work. The same thing. What should you put for your offline image? The same thing. I usually start with the offline image because it's big, so I can just, put it everywhere else. This is definitely not a rule, but it will be easier for people to really notice and understand what your color scheme and your graphic style is if it is, if it appears everywhere. Pretty much. If you have your logo written in neon in your banner, you can't give me like a rock texture on your text on the panels. That is too different, even if you have the same colors. The goal is to express a message through your graphic design that is very simple. Hey, this is my branding. Those are my colors. This is my graphic style. That way it's gonna be memorable. People will think of a pattern and they will think about you. Just like if I say red and white, you'll think Coca-Cola. If I say red and blue, you'll think Pepsi. If I say red with swirly black lines, you'll think PewDiePie. You can definitely be inspired by, very popular streamers. But again, streaming is pretty new, but branding in general is not a new thing. So you can get inspired by energy drinks if you have to. That being said, the goal here is to keep it as simple as possible. Don't overthink it. I see people overthinking it and making it super complex with a lot of it doesn't have to. To be honest, the simplest it is, the easier it is for you to convey a message through your graphic style and your colors. And another extra tip with your presentation, your face. Displaying your face has more power than anything else that you could possibly show. Your profile picture, someone that has their face in the profile picture will get more clicks than anything else that you can put in the profile picture. I get asked, oh, what about in a drawn profile picture, like a drawn face, it's a drawing. That also works, but it's still not as good as a real face. At the end of the day, people come here to watch you. So you being the center of your branding is a good thing. Okay, tip number 3 is going to be separating yourself from the small streamer mentality. Completely. And you may think, okay, I got 500 followers now, I don't have the 5. You might still have the small streamer mentality. Unfortunately, it's something that is widespread, toxic, and really what is keeping a lot of small streamers small, leading to basically self-sabotage. So my tip is basically to call yourself out. Every time you're doing something that is self-deprecating, that is self-sabotage, learn to call yourself out. If you're describing yourself in your description, in your About Me section, and you're saying anything that is negative about your stream, when you have this space where you could sell the stream to anyone looking, that is you bringing your own self down. That is no one else's fault. Something that I see a lot is, oh, I'm not a pro game. No one is expecting you. No one watches small streamers for their gameplay. Straight up. I'm exaggerating, no one. Some people might do it, but the vast majority do not watch small streamers for the gameplay. If I want to watch pro gameplay, I'm gonna watch pro competitions, pro matches. I'm not scrolling down on Twitch looking for random people who have amazing gameplay. No, I'm doing that so I can interact with people. I'm looking for people that I can hang out with, that I can relate with. So you saying in your bio, I'm not pro, I'm not very good at games, it's basically you showing me I don't have a lot of confidence. And unfortunately, that affects people reading this. That makes people think, okay, self-confidence, -5 points, maybe the content is not great. What you need to do instead is look at your VOD and figure out things like patterns, things that are actually present in your stream that are positive, that people might want to see. Oh, do you make a lot of jokes? Do you make a lot of puns? Put that in your description. Do you play horror games and you scream a lot? Put that in your description and make it as if it was a positive. Another symptom of the small streamer mentality is people who straight up do not want to improve their entertainment skill. At the end of the day, you are a broadcaster. You're broadcasting yourself live to possibly the entire world. You want viewers, you want subs, you want money, you want everything, but you need to want to be better too, right? You need to be a better entertainer, and that should be completely fine. You should be excited about knowing that you can improve yourself as an entertainer. I will hear every single excuse in the book, but never, oh, maybe I mumble too much. Maybe I'm too negative and I complain too much when I'm streaming. Maybe I'm too focused on this video game while my gameplay is mediocre and no one is actually watching me for that gameplay. Call yourself out. I shouldn't be the one calling you out. Oh, maybe I should look at the camera from time to time when I'm addressing my chat. Maybe being like this all the time is not optimal for me as an entertainer. Maybe I'll learn to, from time to time, look at the camera. Let's create a certain bond psychologically with people. And if you're not sure what to improve on, go back to tip number 1, television. Another thing I see a lot is, oh, how can I be entertaining if my chat is dead? Oh, so chat is supposed to entertain you first? Is this how it works? So chat comes in, so and then you start being entertaining? Guess what? If you're not entertaining when your chat is dead, you're not that entertaining to begin with, which is fine. That is why you need to work on yourself. People are more likely to talk in your chat if they come in and the stream is already moving. There's already a subject being discussed, even if you're talking to yourself, obviously. If the title is welcoming and appealing, things like viewer games in your title will bring people and they'll ask you about playing with you. There's giveaways, but that's like a cheap bait. Again, I always give this tip. I always say, go watch your views on your channel versus your followers. And stop complaining that you don't get people to watch you. You actually do get people to watch you. You just don't get people to stay. And then ask yourself why. Why wouldn't they stay? So the goal is to provide entertainment before your chat starts talking to you. It's not easy. It's not natural. If you started your Twitch channel because you thought, I love video games, I must be a good entertainer. You're not. It doesn't work like that. Maybe you are. Some people have it naturally, you know? But if you don't, work on yourself. Look in the mirror. Put googly eyes on your camera so you can look at it from time to time. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming everyone else for you not getting views and not getting support and not getting followers when you refuse to work on yourself. You could get hosted with 10,000 people tomorrow, and if you're boring, guess what? They're not staying. Saying that the website discoverability is the reason why you're not growing, there isn't much discoverability on Twitch. I agree with you, but everyone is getting partnered every single day. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people are getting partnered every single day. What is your excuse? Or do you think they're sitting down and they're like, well, I'm not gonna grow because no discoverability? And then of course there's the ultimate, hey, women are ruining Twitch. Shut up. Just shut up. You know, women are not taking your views. You being boring makes people go watch other streamers. Okay, I'm getting a little heated there. But boobs don't get views, okay? And if you really strongly, firmly think that the reason why you don't have viewers is because boobs get viewers, that means that you are not more interesting than 2 sacks of fat. Oh boy, I feel the angry comments coming. Another thing, gear. Gear is not keeping you from getting viewers. You not having an Elgato Stream Deck, not having the Loop Deck, not having the Go XLR. This is not what's keeping you from growing on Twitch. Straight up. Mouse, keyboard, no one cares about that. Your viewers don't care about that. Some streamers take their old Android phones, they get partnered, and they make a living out of streaming. Once again, you can spend $1 million on your stream. If you're boring, people are not gonna want to watch you. Anyways, every time you feel this way during your career and you're comparing yourself to others and you're like, oh, it must be the gear, or oh, it must be the boobs, call yourself out and ask yourself, wow, this time that I'm spending thinking about other people, what if I just look at my VODs and see what I can improve and write a couple of things down? What if I stop slouching on my chair when I'm streaming? What if I look a little more alive? What if I learn to smile on camera because apparently I'm supposed to be playing my favorite game ever? What if I take a shower before streams? What if I did my hair before stream? What if I clean my room before stream? Or just put everything in a pile somewhere so they can see it. All that to say, there's no conspiracy to keep you down. The people at the top, they worked hard and they most likely focused on themselves instead of focusing on others. If you start doing this, you can also get a piece of the cake. Tip number 4. Networking is not hard. That's a tip that you probably heard a lot of times. Network this, network that, network it. You just gotta network and post on social media. That's all you have to do to grow a Twitch channel. No, not really. Especially if you don't know what networking is or you don't know how to do it. Also, like, it's important for you to know that networking isn't gonna grow your channel. It's a good add-on to all the things that you're supposed to be doing, notably improving your content, but I've seen people focus solely on networking and then complain that it didn't work. Networking is good because it means you have contacts. Sometimes you get handouts based on things that you have provided in the past, or just, you know, people see you, they like you, so they stick around. But most likely you're gonna be networking with other streamers. what is your target audience? It's most likely not streamers, it's viewers. If you want someone to have time to sit down and watch you for 8 hours of your stream, you're not gonna target streamers. I target streamers because I make content here on YouTube for streamers, but I don't stream that much. Okay, so how to network properly? There are multiple methods, there are multiple strategies in order to network correctly. The first one is pretty simple. Provide something and don't really hope for anything in return, but most likely you increase your chance of getting things in return if you provide something. An easy, actionable tip that I can give you right now is Facebook groups. I really don't like Facebook, but Facebook groups right now, if you go on any of those streamer Facebook groups, you will realize one thing very, very widespread, that is on every group, is that if you scroll down, there's pretty much no interaction with any post. Most people that will post their link, they're going live on those groups, will not even get a single like. Which means that you, with your infinite likes, you could make yourself noticed. If you just go on those Facebook groups and like every post, people are gonna notice you. That being said, this is like the cheap, easy cheat method. And if you really want to do it correctly, what you will do is go to those groups and basically find when people are asking for advice or asking for people to answer a question. Basically, the goal is to make yourself notice and to make yourself useful. If you help out a couple of people in the community, you will be that guy known in this whole community for being helpful, for being nice. And again, although you're not waiting for anything in exchange, it increases your chances of, you know, those people wanting to check out your stream, those people wanting to give you back something, host you, raid you, just give you advice in return, support you maybe. If you don't want to go and interact with other people's posts, you can make your own post, but instead of only doing going live posts, even though you can clearly see that this does not really work, you can make advice posts. If your niche is a specific game or a couple of games, join all the Facebook groups that have to do with the fan base of this game, and you can give advice on this game if you know about them. If you don't know about them, you can watch a couple of YouTube videos that give tips, and those same tips, you put them in the Facebook group. Everyone's gonna be like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Thank you so much. This guy is super useful. Another way is to straight up support people. Go anywhere, just go on Twitch, you know, find streams that you feel like you would enjoy. And if you enjoy the stream, you know, support the stream, be active in their chat, be active with them on the social media platforms. Why do I speak like that? That being said, don't self-promo. I'm not saying go to their channel and say, I stream. No, just be a viewer. And if you show up, you become a regular, people will have a conversation with you, and maybe it will come naturally in the conversation where they're like, oh wait, do you stream? And you're like, yes, I do, from time to time. Networking is basically the art of making friends. That's it, making connections with people. Don't mention the word networking, for example, because, you know, when, I don't know, Amazon is advertising a product, they're trying to take your money. Do they say, hey, are you interested in giving us your money because we're trying to take your money? No, they'll be like, hey, look at this product, you probably need it. Same thing with networking. Also, manners is the big thing here. If you don't have any manners, you can learn about them on the internet, but manners still apply online. You don't show up on someone's stream and be like, hey, I'm about to go live, or say hi, how you doing? Okay. Well, I gotta go. I'm going live right now. No, that's self-promo. We can see through this. Don't DM people telling them, hey, I'm trying to network with you. Every time I see that, it's a huge red flag. You're not trying to network with me. If I've never seen you in my Twitch chat, you're not trying to network with me. If you've never interacted with my tweets, you're not networking with me. You might as well tell me, hey, you seem to have a lot of viewers. I want some of them. It will be the same thing. Talking about social, interacting just on social media is enough most of the time. I recognize sometimes people who come in my chat. It's such a good thing when people recognize you from Twitter. It actually puts you on a different level as the regulars when you show up on chat and the person is like, oh my god, I recognize your username, you're from Twitter, right? It's beautiful. So it's basically interact with someone's tweets that you follow, that you actually enjoy their content, and then show up in their chat once. So yeah, if you're trying to be smart about networking, the goal would be to network with people that are within your niche. I understand that streamers like to network with other streamers, and there's nothing wrong with that. For example, if I were someone who was making content around a specific game, if I was streaming, I don't know, Apex Legends, I would make sure that everyone in every Apex Legends groups knows who I am. I would be active in multiple Apex Legends Discords. I would be giving tips left and right. I would be sharing memes related to it. I would be doing pretty much anything but just posting going live. You can still post the going live, but things that are useful, things that will make people laugh, things that is relatable, things that is not just self-promo basically. Don't use those groups as a link dumpster. Remember that what you want is followers and viewers, and those are people, so interact with them as if they were people. Another thing I want to say before we move on is that I said that giving advice is good in those Facebook groups and those Discords and stuff like that. Beware of unsolicited advice. If someone is like going live and I'm doing a speed run and like you respond, oh, you should do this, don't backseat game. You know, don't backseat game. Definitely don't go on their Twitch channel and give advice, unsolicited advice like that, and just tell them what to do while they're trying to enjoy the game. Don't do that. Anyways, and then tip number 5, which could have been a better transition, but remember to be human. Again, your viewers, your potential viewers, your supporters, your followers, they are also human. If you're gonna try to make content that will please humans, that will please them, you have to make content that would please you. If you cannot sit down and watch your own VOD for 4 hours because you're too bored, you need to work on that. You can make it better until you have a stream that you are proud of, that you would watch if you weren't making it. Basically, make content that you want to watch, you want to see, that you would be entertained by. I used to write down every time I felt a little bored, of course excluding, you know, be right back screens and stuff like that. But if I took a lot of time to answer to a certain type of question, I would write that down. I would be like, oh, I need to be better at answering this. Or if my reaction to like a pun, a joke, or technical difficulties, for example, if something happens and let's say my audio is broken and my reaction is for 3 minutes, me watching the VOD would be like, I need to keep this show going. So if I don't have any audio this time, I'll be like, and I would play some music to keep people entertained, or I would type something on screen. I would put a text source that says my audio is broken, I'm trying to fix it, and while I'm playing the music, I would dance a little bit. I would vibe to the music, and that would keep people more entertained than if they have to watch you, you know, struggle. Once again, your viewers are human, so in the subject of technical difficulties, it is expected. If we're talking about Twitch or YouTube or Facebook gaming, viewers know that technical difficulties is just part of live streaming. It's impossible for you to make sure that you never have technical. It's gonna happen at some point and you're gonna have to deal with it. Do not stress, do not panic, and definitely don't get angry. Like if I'm watching a streamer, they get angry because, oh, my mic is not, I don't understand, this is not working. I'm leaving the stream. Because you're a baby at this point. making advice videos without insulting everyone. But seriously, it's awkward, and it makes me feel, you know, very awkward if you're getting mad at the simplest thing. Just focus, fix the problem, move on with a smile. The advice here is to be, you know, remember to be human, is like also be genuine. You know, there's nothing more pleasing, more aesthetically pleasing than just watching another relatable human being. If I'm embarrassed by something, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing, but I'll laugh at yourself, allow yourself to to be funny, you know, to know that, oh, me messing up this thing, oh, I put a wrong source, I messed it up. That's funny. That's not sad. That's not a reason to get mad and be like, oh, this was working. No, it's most likely you messed up something, that's why it's not working. But chill, your viewers are here, they're just chilling. You getting mad will make them feel uncomfortable and they will leave. You owning up to a mistake and laughing at yourself will make them feel comfortable. But even if we're not talking about technical difficulties and we're actually talking about gameplay, for example, same thing. Don't take it too seriously. If you decided to broadcast your gameplay, you should really not take it seriously, because you decided to have a camera on your face, or at least just broadcast your gameplay and have anyone come in and talk to you at the same time. Stop trying to play like a pro. Once you click that go live button, you should try to make sure that the priority is the viewer's entertainment, because that's why they're here. That should be the reason why you stream, even though, you know, if it's a hobby, you do whatever you want. But if you're trying to grow, you need to understand that you are now a broadcaster, an entertainer. As soon as you click that button, you're not just in your living room playing your video games. Your rank is low in this competitive video game, so what? It can still be fun. to watch and also to play for you. If you genuinely enjoy those games, it will shine through. Don't pretend that you like a game and stuff like that. I mean, you can if you're an amazing actor, but I don't advise it, you know. If you're genuinely having fun, people will notice. People will really see it. But if you're pretending, hey, this is my favorite game, and all you do is rage and hit the table and stuff like that, it's fine to rage from time to time, but you need to be able to laugh at yourself afterwards, to be like, well, I messed up, I died, this guy was better than me, ha ha ha, that was... But in order to continue this don't take yourself too seriously tip, it actually helps you out a lot with anxiety and stress when it comes to live streaming. Think about it this way. If you're gonna ask me the question like, hey Gail, how do you find the motivation to go live? Hey Gail, I'm trying to go live, but I always get stressed before. First of all, it's natural. Okay, it's normal. Any normal person will be anxious to just broadcast themselves live. That's fine. But at a certain point, you need to understand that it really isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's really not. Technical difficulties, not a big deal. What's the worst that's gonna happen when you're live? Like, you literally cannot mess up a stream. You just can't. You go live, okay, let's say that something is not working, you have to cancel the stream. So what? You cancel the stream. You fix it, and the next day you go live. That's not enough to be stressing about, especially if you're not one of those huge streamers and have 30,000 people waiting for you. Like, what are you stressing about? There's a lot of things that are stressful to streamers, and I understand. Again, that is natural, but I'm here to tell you that it's irrational. If you need someone like me to tell you it's irrational, maybe that'll help. And that's my goal here. I'm trying to help you out. I don't get that stress at all anymore. I used to have it, like, it used to be hardcore. I used to sit down for 25 minutes before I click go live. I don't have it at all anymore. I just click it. I had someone ask me, oh, do you have a checklist before you start your stream? If I had to have a checklist to stream, I would not stream. That's not fun. I can pretend that this activity is fun if I have a checklist. Oh, I need to check this, I need to check that. No, my checklist is click on starting soon scene and then click go live and figure out the rest. Technical difficulties? Oh, I accidentally muted myself? Ha ha ha. I'm an idiot. Let's continue. Show must go on. Again, if I want you to walk out this video remembering something, you cannot mess up a stream. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna have to cancel the stream. So what? Next day, you fix your problem, you stream. Let that be your motivation to click the go live button. So those were my 5 tips in order to grow a channel. I try to put a mix in between practical advice, actionable advice, things that you can literally go try out after watching this video, watch the whole thing, and advice that has to do with the mentality, the mindset of being a streamer. And being attached to a certain mindset might help you self-sabotage yourself. So you need to detach from this small streamer mentality. And it's time for you to realize, hey, I have a show and I need to put on a show, and my show needs to be great. It needs to be the best show for me in my taste. And if anyone out there relates to me, watches my show, they will also love it. Once again, streaming is not hard. Making a Twitch channel is not hard. Going live is not hard, but it's hard to actually grow and get viewers and maintain those viewers. That's the hard part. And why is it hard? Because you actually have to put in a little bit of work. So if you want that to happen, that's what you have to do in exchange. If you do the bare minimum, you're gonna have the bare minimum. If you tell me it's a hobby, you should be fine. You should be happy with the bare minimum. You should be happy with 3 viewers. I was happy when I had 3 viewers. I remember peaking at 7 viewers when I used to stream Battlefield, and that made my day. I had a full-time job, and it was cool that 7 people were hanging out with me while I played Xbox with the crappiest quality on Twitch. That was amazing. If you have any other tips to grow a Twitch channel or things that you do and that worked for you, let me know about them in the comment section below. Hopefully someone else will read them and can take your advice too. As I mentioned, I have this show called Stream Review. It happens on Fridays, 8 p.m. CET, that is Paris time, every Friday. All you have to do is show up, get in the queue, and I will actually look at your stream and give you advice on how to improve if that's necessary. We talked about your presentation in tip number 2. If you want some help with that, go to gumroad.com/GailLevel. As I said, there's a bunch of free overlay packs there. With a couple of clicks, you can get your whole Twitch channel looking clean, made by a professional graphic designer. Other than that, follow me on social media because this is where I announce when I'm doing giveaways, when I do special polls and stuff like that. Instagram, Twitter are where I'm the most active. But I also have a Discord server where you can join and basically be part of the community. We have specific channels for questions and specific channel for feedback. Link will be in the description. But that being said, if you check top right, you will see what YouTube thinks is the best video for you to watch next. And right underneath that, you will see my most recent video. So go take a look. Tweet this video to maybe get a shout out in the next one. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hopefully you like it. Go out there, make me proud. Get level out.